This is the Marxists at the Movies podcast.
Marxists at the movies, bright and raw, breaking through the reels to rewrite the law. Workers of the world in every frame, changing the credits, rewriting the name.
Welcome, comrades, to Marxists at the Movies, the show where we stomp out false consciousness one moldy VHS tape at a time. I'm Edward Michael Francis.
And I'm Edward Michael Francis, too. You know, like a Marxist Voltron, but with more taffeta and trauma.
I can't believe we made it through our first Pride Month.
Hey.
One website fiasco, one full-blown Google Notebook meltdown, and somehow, we're still standing.
Barely. I've aged a decade. My mouse and my cat, Myron, ironically, both have PTSD. But hey, again, we're here, we're queer, and we didn't miss a single episode.
This is our final Pride episode, and yeah, it's a little different than what you might expect.
But that's kind of our thing, right? Spotlighting the unexpected gems, the quiet revolutions, the tap dancing uprisings no one saw coming.
Quite right. So let's wrap this month with a little gratitude and a lot of rhythm. This week's episode is all about a film that may have pot a beret under your radar. Stepping Out from 1991.
Unexpected.
In a piece we're calling Working Class Tap Shoes and the Collective Liberation of Performance by, shocker, Edward Michael Francis.
We swear, there's only one of us. Maybe.
Right.
It's hard to say right now. We're fused with the discourse.
You can read the full article over on our Patreon and, cue the drum roll, our brand new website.
Satan willing, you'll check it out. Myron the cat has helped us with quality control by sitting directly on the keyboard during every upload.
Always.
Hero, icon,
And
little bastard.
And with that,
Cue the sting.
okay, look, before we confuse our Cincinnatis with our Maxi Fords, we need to talk tone. Because stepping out, it's broad. Like, by George, I think he's got it kind of broad. In fact, they straight up steal that line from My Fair Lady.
And I am okay with that.
Hey, me too. As an autistic viewer, I find big, clear performances oddly soothing.
Me too.
No subtext, just vibes. It's comforting.
Quite right.
If you're a fan of Clue, Noises Off, Nickelodeon's Roundhouse, or Airplane,
All those.
this is your jam.
Not everything needs to be Shakespeare. Snap out of it. And yeah, that really was my share.
Yikes.
I don't do impressions.
Yeah, me either.
Anyway, sometimes the most radical thing a movie can do is be sincere. And this one is tap dancing sincerity all the way down.
And don't worry, we're not judging it on taste alone.
Never.
The Marxist lens doesn't ask if you like a thing. It asks, what are the material conditions? And this movie has them.
Correct.
In bootloads.
Spoiler warning ahead. If you want to experience the cinematic basement recital with fresh eyes, now's your chance to pause and shuffle ball change back later.
So, before Stepping Out was a film, it was a stage play written by Richard Harris in 1984, set in North London. When they adapted it for the screen, Harris moved the setting to a church basement in Buffalo. But the spirit of it, working class folks learning to shuffle off in sync, remained totally intact. It was a cultural translation. Britain's class humor got swapped for America's Rust Belt melancholy. And somehow, that just made the hope in it shine brighter.
Missed opportunity at the box office, though.
Absolutely. Paramount originally planned to release the film alongside Liza Minnelli's Radio City concert run in spring of '91. But after some executive shuffling, it got pushed to the fall and into obscurity. No marketing, no momentum.
Zilch.
It died on arrival.
Zero.
Which is ridiculous because Liza wasn't coasting. She was grinding. She drilled Danny Daniels' choreography like a core member and brought real vulnerability to Mavis.
Quite right.
She even said it felt like playing both the teacher and the student.
That is the most Liza thing she possibly could have said. And it also explains a lot.
Right? It's also worth noting this ended up being Liza's final major film role.
Boo.
After stepping out, it was just occasional cameo or stage appearances.
Not enough.
Director Lewis Gilbert didn't want a spectacle, he wanted a heartbeat, and Liza gave it to him.
For sure.
From within the ensemble.
Respect.
Couple fun nods in there too. There's a line where Mavis mentions auditioning for Bob Fosse, which is a cheeky wink at Liza's real-life Broadway past.
And don't forget the closing song. Kander and Ebb wrote an original finale just for this movie.
Sweet.
That's like getting Wolfgang Puck to cater your church potluck. No reason it should be that good, and yet it is.
So, here's the plot in a nutshell.
Talk to me.
Liza Minnelli plays Mavis Turner, a former pro dancer whose career didn't quite pan out the way she hoped. Now she's hoofing it in the dingy basement of a Buffalo church.
To put it mildly.
Not for glory, but to pay the rent. And maybe, deep down, for a shot at something redemptive.
It's personal and scrappy, like the floors they dance on.
And her students? Absolute gold mine of personalities. Vera, the British perfectionist. Maxine, the single mom masking fear with sass.
Shout out to all the moms.
Jeffrey, the guy who moves like he's made of coat hangers. Every one of them brings a different wound, a different wall.
No two steps or traumas are the same.
There's also Andy, quiet as a mouse, trying to disappear.
Quite right.
Then you've got Rose, Sylvia, Lynn, Dorothy. None of them came for friendship or rhythm.
Fussy.
But somehow, despite all the missteps and missed cues, something starts to build.
Call it community with choreography.
And watching it all unfold like a cranky key warden holding court.
We love her.
Mrs. Fraser, side-eyeing every shuffle like it just insulted her metronome. She plays with one hand and judges with the other.
Judge Judy.
Kind of woman who could start a fight at a bake sale.
And win.
Eventually, they prep for a charity recital that nobody thinks will matter, but it does, because by then, the rhythms they've carved into that floor,
what are they?
They're a kind of healing ritual.
Indeed.
They become something real.
Of course.
A team.
Perfectly imperfect.
It's the kind of ending where no one wins a trophy, but everybody wins anyway. You walk out feeling like you've been hugged, and maybe stepped on a little, in the best way.
Now let's talk cast, because Stepping Out is nothing without its ensemble. This isn't just a bunch of quirky side characters orbiting Liza Minnelli. Every single one of them matters.
And they lock in step. Shelley Winters, iconic. She's the salty rehearsal pianist who heckles everyone like a teamster with a heart of gold.
Right? She's like if your cranky aunt ran the union hall and the church basement. Loud, blunt, but weirdly nurturing.
Exactly.
You know there's a soft center under all that bark.
Then there's Julie Walters as Vera. Polished, proper, clearly not from around here.
Clearly.
But she's not the snob you think she is. She's craving community just like the rest of them.
Bill Irwin's Jeffrey is this quiet, kind of awkward insurance guy who you think might disappear into the background. But he grows. Like, visibly blooms inside this safe space.
Ellen Green's Maxine is all fire. Single mom, full of attitude. You feel the pressure she's under despite the comic relief.
Yay!
Her joy is hard won.
And Sylvia, Robin Steffen, nails the loud friend covering deep insecurity energy. You want to shake her 1 minute and hug her the next.
Jane Krakowski's Lynn is more subtle, but she's the glue. Steady, warm, and a better dancer than she lets on.
She is!
That quiet support, essential.
Then there's Andy. Sheila McCarthy breaks you. A woman running from abuse who finds her strength through movement.
Powerful.
Through the collective.
Dorothy, played by Andrea Martin,
Diva.
is this wide-eyed, allergic mess of a housewife.
Tell me about
and
it.
Somehow, ends up as one of the most endearing characters in the room.
And Carol Woods as Rose, she's the soul. She walks in carrying everyone else's burdens and still finds time to uplift the people around her.
Good stuff.
Total rock.
The thing is, no one steals the spotlight here.
No one.
The film won't let them. They rise and fall together.
As a unit.
And that's the point.
Because the real star is the ensemble.
Precisely.
It's the we.
At its core, Stepping Out is about the rehearsal process, a gritty, week-by-week journey that forges strangers into a cohesive unit.
That's deep.
Movement is the medium, but labor is the message.
Yes!
These aren't prodigies.
No.
They're ordinary people showing up despite dead-end jobs, troubled children, and personal baggage.
And that showing up is radical. Emotional labor, communal labor, physical labor, none of it glamorous, but all of it necessary.
Totally.
The film honors that labor, refusing to exploit or sensationalize it.
The rehearsal hall becomes a kind of microcosm of collective action. It's messy, petty arguments flare up, feet hurt, but it's in that mess that something beautiful gets built.
There's no star, not even Liza.
Nope.
Mavis is one of them.
Indeed.
The choreography echoes this. No solos, just unity.
Togetherness.
It's a quiet refusal to play the capitalist game of one-upmanship.
The final number is about presence over perfection.
That's true.
Liza gets to strut her stuff a little, but it's mostly the strength of the group becomes the performance, and in that moment, they're the whole damn show.
We'll return right after this.
Each flickers with a revolutionary beam. The heroes rise from the factory floor, challenging the scripts and demanding more.
Welcome back. Stepping Out deserves a blazing spotlight in the queer cinema canon,
Reach.
yet it remains unjustly overlooked. Its queerness is structural.
Completely.
The film uplifts misfits, the aging, the eccentric, the written off.
Tell it.
It honors their grit, their awkward grace, and their rhythm. And no one embodies that quiet queerness more than Liza Minnelli.
Icon.
Gliding into a crumbling Buffalo church basement like it's Studio 54 in soft focus.
Rhinestones on work boots. That's the vibe.
Exactly. The camp is about perseverance.
Always is.
These characters sparkle because of their flaws. The rehearsal outfits, the cracked mirrors, the cigarette breaks between the wings and pullbacks. It's a queer ritual in plain sight.
Hear, hear.
And queer audiences knew how to read the liturgy.
Even the group dynamic feels familiar.
Indeed.
Found Family 101.
Yes, this is syncing up. You don't win stepping out, you belong to it.
Right.
The group's triumph is their routine, in their refusal to quit. Andy escaping abuse, Dorothy mastering a basic time step,
Quite right.
Jeffrey returning week after week. It's ordinary, which makes it revolutionary.
It's like sequins optional, joy mandatory.
And it queers aging, too.
Right.
These aren't 20-somethings discovering themselves.
Nope.
They're grown, tired, worn, but still here.
Still here.
That's queer survival.
Facts.
That's the legacy.
Stepping Out has picked up a queer following online.
Oh, yeah?
Clips of Liza, the rough choreography, the mismatched outfits, it all feels familiar. People aren't watching for nostalgia. They're watching because they see themselves in it.
Right. It's not camp as mockery. It's camp as home.
Critics like B. Ruby Rich, who coined new queer cinema, always emphasized films that made space for the marginalized through joy.
Yes, they did.
Stepping Out fits that mold, even if it wasn't marketed that way. It's working class, woman-led, collectivist, and gloriously resistant to polish. No one's fixed, but everyone's seen.
They support one another. That's the real revolution.
Back in April 2025, Queerty ran this glowing appraisal of Stepping Out.
Yeah, I read this.
Calling it a movie destined to become a staple of camp movie nights. And honestly, with that cast, that heart,
Indubitably.
and that final number, they're not wrong.
It's like someone opened a time capsule marked Future Baby Gays, you're gonna need this.
Because if queer media is finally waking up to Liza in Buffalo, surrounded by scene-stealing legends and tap shoes with trauma,
Right.
then Stepping Out is quietly, and now not so quietly, getting its due.
Girl, they tried to shelve it, but we tapped it back out. Get it? Tapped? See what I did there?
Kill yourself.
Ouchie.
This film teaches us how to move together, how to shine without competing, and how to reclaim joy even when the spotlight skips us.
Comrades, if Stepping Out made your heart step a little faster, you can support more revolutionary content by joining us on Patreon at patreon.com/Cinemarchmedia.
That's right. Your support helps fuel both of our podcasts, The Marching Revolution and Marxists at the Movies. We keep the mics hot and the critiques hotter.
The $6 tier gets you early access to all our written articles and breaking news before anyone else sees them.
And for $10 a month, you'll get that, plus early access to audio episodes, behind-the-scenes bonus content.
Whoa, lady.
And both tiers enjoy the occasional surprise cameo from our little comrade, Myron the cat.
You can also visit www.cinemarchmedia.com to learn more about us, learn more about the movement, and see what we're up to across both shows.
And remember, if you are enjoying this content or our article, Working Class Tap Shoes and the Collective Liberation of Performance,
Yes.
please support independent leftist media.
Please do.
Support your local marching nerds.
Myron may not be unionized, but they've already organized the entire snack shelf.
The revolution has fur. I'll just be the one to say it. Sentimentality gets dismissed too often, like it's something to be embarrassed about.
Amen, sister woman.
Stepping Out pirouettes right into it with scuffed shoes and thrift store glamour.
Hello.
These folks are chasing something a lot queerer than fame.
What's that?
Chosen family, collective joy, vulnerability without punishment.
Beautiful.
They're appearing at rehearsal, exhausted and imperfect, and still managing to sink.
Yes.
And that's beautiful.
It's giving true Beverly Hills, but broke, and with better choreography.
Exactly. It's the same kind of defiance you feel in 9 to 5, A League of Their Own, or even Working Girl.
Shout out to Melody Griffith's hairspray budget.
It's not about being polished, it's about being undeniable. Vulnerability is the point. Softness isn't a flaw, it's a strategy. Stepping Out is about the courage to be witnessed.
Of course.
That final number, they're not nailing every slap step, but they're fully present. And that presence hits harder than perfection ever
Especially when the shoes don't match the budget.
could. Right? Even the design leans in. Peeling linoleum, exposed pipes, costumes one hem away from a nervous breakdown. But it's honest.
These are survivors. The kind of people who have held it together with safety pins and cheap lipstick, on stage and off.
And the movie honors that. It says success is about turning up for each other. Not escape, but communion.
So, let's be real about this film.
Always.
The pacing drags in spots, and the budget, very fellowship hall realness.
Painful.
But that's kind of the point, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's about labor, about building something with your people.
So much.
This is a love letter to collectivism.
Exactly. It says, screw perfection. Let's be messy, let's sweat, let's sync up and make some noise together.
Yes!
It uplifts the folks movies usually ignore. Older women, working class women, emotionally raw characters. And queer-coded ones, too.
Truth.
That's not a bug in the system. That's the whole damn system we're trying to build.
The revolution here is quiet but relentless. It's in the wobbly group numbers, the chorus of "I'm still here," even when nobody asked. It's rhythm as resistance, community as protest.
Preach, sister.
And since this is our final Pride Month episode,
It's kind of perfect, isn't it?
quite right.
Because films like Stepping Out alongside Beaches, Fried Green Tomatoes, even The First Wives Club, they were queer-coded blueprints before we even had the language.
For sure. This movie taps out a beat that's always been ours. Don't go it alone. Find your people. Fight soft. But on the floor, you better get it.
And never apologize for being sentimental. That's called queer survival.
All right. Enough feelings.
It's time for the hammer and sickle rating. Drum roll, please. We're giving Steppin' Out a heartfelt, sequined 4 out of 5 hammers and sickles.
Woo-hoo.
Why not 5? Well, it doesn't shout its politics. It sort of murmurs them behind a rhinestone curtain.
Right. It's not marching into battle.
No.
It's soft shoeing into revolution with a donut in one hand and Liza in the other.
So whether you're here for Marx or Minnelli,
Or both.
this film is a showstopper.
It may not topple the system with a war cry,
But it might just shuffle ball change it into submission.
we'll be right back.
Welcome back. So what did we learn today?
We learned that Liza Minnelli can transform Sunday coffee hour into a revolution using nothing but sass and a sensible heel.
We learned that it's not a real tap class until someone's shoe falls apart mid-step and nobody stops the routine.
We learned that queer cinema doesn't need glitter bombs when it's got rehearsal sweat and character shoes.
And we learned that community doesn't always come with jazz hands, but it definitely comes with a new pair of tap shoes for me.
Look, sincerity is rebellion, and this film proves that showing up out of sync and still trying is its own kind of revolution.
You can find more of that energy at cinemarchmedia.com or on our Patreon if you're feeling spicy.
This has been Marxists at the Movies.
See you in the basement. Step into our chorus line.
Scene opens, white lights dim down low.
Thank you for listening to the Marxists at the Movies podcast.
Cinema whispers
Don't
where
forget to like
truths
and
can
comment.
grow. From shadows deep and screens ignite, the proletariat comes alive tonight. Marxists at the movies, bright and raw, breaking through the reels to rewrite the law. Workers of the world and